Today is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 50, Week 5 already.
This episode is titled Open Wounds. And that was once again spoken by Christian.
He's getting a lot of titles.
Yes, he is our narrator. So far, one of the chief narrators. Now that he's eliminated the competition, even more so, huh?
Yep. And Mike, you mean?
Yeah. Previously on Survivor, Rizo tells Charlie about the BB. Aubry's feeling like a leper. Coach is working on a Warriors alliance. Rizo shares about how he didn't vote for his number one, and this infuriates Charlie and sends him into an endless loop. Mike calls a shot on Emily. Christian calls a shot on Mike. Mike's gone, and Ozzy is miffed. It is too late to try to catch him up. Okay, back at Vatu on night 9.
He's very angry.
Or 10, sorry.
What'd he say? The math isn't mathing.
Yes. Yeah, he was trying to make an appeal to Christian, I guess, with that.
Yeah.
Ozzy has a hissy fit. He was left out of the vote.
Well, and he tells us if they had told him, he'd have blown up their game. I thought,
so
okay,
Christian was right, yeah.
Yeah.
Christian...
Well, and Stephenie said actually she chose not to tell him to because she didn't want that to happen.
Christian is observing Ozzy's tantrum, and he realizes, hey, this is a lot like the Ozzy from South Pacific when he got so upset at Cochran when he got left out of a vote. Is he looking at me like Cochran? Could I be the new Cochran? Ozzy tries to hit below the belt a little bit. He tells him he was not thinking strategically.
Okay.
And that's when Christian gives us the title for the episode. He recognizes that Ozzy has open wounds. And it was his doing. Christian's leaving him out of the vote.
Well, of course. It was, and they knew it would be, but they chose to do it anyway, so, okay.
And rightly so, according to what Ozzy shared.
Yes.
They chose well.
He said he still is upset about it and wants to gather the leftover people.
And vote out Christian.
To Christian's benefit, I think, is him owning up and saying, look, that was totally my decision not to tell you. It wasn't the girls. They wanted to tell you. So I guess he decided, okay, I'm the one pushing that. I should take the heat and not have him mad at all of us.
Right.
And that seemed to help some.
Yep. Okay, it's the morning. We have Ozzy in his poncho of many colors is meditating. I didn't see that coming.
Why? You don't know Ozzy meditates?
I just didn't think he would recover or bounce back that quick, and that meditation would be the key. He says it calms him, and he has learned to accept it. And you get a hug and a handshake from Christian after that. Christian's concerned, ask him if he's all right.
Or he learned to hide it. Once he calmed down from being angry, he just hid it better.
Yeah, suppressed it.
Which is what he needs to do to play the game.
Yep, he had a good cover story. That's the old me. I regressed back to hot-headed Ozzy.
And my old self was just coming out.
Christian tells us that he hopes that's real, that that's really what's going on. He's going to do a little trust but verify, I think, on that one.
Yeah, but they shared some past hurts in the game and went through all of that. And I'm sure some of that was sincere. But Ozzy tells us, but he still can't trust Christian.
He betrayed me, and I'm not going to forget that.
And I'm not going to forget it.
Yep, see Stephenie apologizing to Ozzy, sorry about all that. And Ozzy just accepted it and blew right by that apology and said, hey, you see what Christian's capable of? He gave them an opportunity to pile on Christian.
Well, he can't do anything to Christian without them. So,
Stephenie jumps on board quick. Christian is scary good, she says. And she wants to get on the same page with Ozzy. Pull in Angelina.
She knows he has an idol.
Yeah, pull in Angelina, and they've got a majority, and they can control the vote.
Yep. And Angelina, she can work with Ozzy and Stephenie, or she could work with Christian and Emily, or vote with them. So I think that was making her feel just a little more powerful. That, oh, hey.
Over to the Cila tribe, and we see Charlie and Jonathan talking about where they stand, and they're feeling pretty good because they got the old Kalo 4 here, and that Kalo group has the majority.
All right.
And we see Jonathan and Rick talking as they walk to the water well. I guess that's where they were headed. And somebody stepped on a duck. You thought it was Jonathan? I thought it was Rick.
Jonathan. Yeah, it probably was Rick.
Because it's usually the person who says that's the one that's farting.
Well,
At least in my experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick is thrilled to be included in Jonathan's plans. He's feeling like, hey, I could be a number with this Kalo 4.
Yeah, but Jonathan's being deceptive too, telling, I think it was Kamilla, that the other three have to go. They have their alliance, and so that includes Rick, and that's part of why I think he was getting close to Rick,
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep an eye on him, supposedly.
But it's smart play by Jonathan for sure.
However, somehow or another, Charlie and Jonathan have been upsetting Dee. Maybe they're not consulting her enough. Maybe they're not, she's used to manipulating with her charm. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they're in relationships or what, but they don't seem interested. And if she can't manipulate them, who can she manipulate? So I think that could be a part, because I actually thought she and Jonathan were tight because of their physicality and all. Mm-hmm. I really did.
And before we see Dee talking to Rizo, we see Jonathan, Dee, and Charlie talking, and they were targeting Rizo. Sounded good, but then we hear Dee say that, hey, they have their own agenda. I need my plan. So she reaches out to Rizo and asks if he wants to work together. And he jumps right on it.
Well,
yes.
When Dee told Jonathan she really likes Cirie, and Jonathan's like, I do too, but she has to go.
A couple of episodes back, yeah.
Yeah, I thought then, no, I think she wants to play with Cirie. So, and she does, I guess.
That's the pitch that Dee makes.
Yeah.
How about me, Cirie, Kamilla, and you, Rizo? We can work together. Rizo is on board, and he goes and shares spills the BBT to Dee so that she's in on it. And then they make their plans for their alliance of 4. And here it is again, something falling into his lap, but him claiming it. Is it something about him, or is he just the beneficiary of others' choices?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to know that Charlie knew about, what was it Charlie came up and said to him about who did you tell about the idols? I'm jumping ahead, I think.
Yeah, that's a little bit ahead. We'll get to that in just a second, because we got to check in with Coach 4.0 over on the Kalo beach, and he tells us that he loves a social game, and he has dubbed himself the Tide Walker because he's moving around obstacles instead of smashing them this time. And he's got a plan for Joe. Joe's going to be his number 1, and he gets Joe to shake on it.
Oy.
Joe seemed to, from the way they gave us the edit, it seemed like Joe handled that really well. He didn't say a lot. He just listened and was wide-eyed, which is exactly what Coach is looking for when he's talking.
Well, and then he gives Joe and Colby nicknames.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose to make this so complicated, jumping back and forth for the dubbing and the knighting ceremony, but whatever. Colby gets the nickname the Oakbound Warrior. He's the lawmaker, the rules enforcer, and Joe is dubbed the Stone Bell. Is it Bell? Like B-E-L-L? Stone Belt?
Stone Belt's what I thought.
Okay. I thought he said Bell. I don't know.
He's the warrior monk, is that?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's trying to infuse some Japanese mythology
to me. But
into it, he tells them, yes.
Yeah.
And he knights them, dubs them with their names. But Colby, he's like, he's all in. It's full tilt to the end. We're good to go, buddy.
Okay.
Aubry and Tiff, meanwhile, are out looking for some food while the night dubbing.
Loves Tiff. Mm-hmm. And she tells us that Kalo is run by Coach.
She needs allies, so she's going to reach out. She plays the respect card. Mm-hmm. Yep, looking for people,
And
play
of
with people she
course,
can respect.
he's like, you betcha.
Yep, and she tells him, I don't take it lightly. And then he tells us in a confessional, I was happy to throw her a lifeline. Rescued little Miss Aubry.
Oy.
He is making real connections, he tells us.
So who it is? I know in Coach's mind, Chrissy is in the alliance of him and Colby and Joe.
She didn't get dubbed, though. No dubbing for her. No knighthood.
Or she's just a woman.
I see.
And so is Genevieve still in with Colby? Because they're not showing
so.
us that. Or if Tiffany is socializing with the others. Because why in the world would she not and just get too close to Aubry? That's just going to get her voted out if the others are together.
But you
they're
know
not
what's
showing it.
more important to Coach is that he is finding himself. He's really finding himself out here. He's pushing down that old dragon slayer. He's not being too cocky. He is really
And how many times
he's
in
meant
life
to
do
be.
you need to find yourself?
yeah.
His new self, I guess.
Back over to the Cila camp, and it's a new day. The day is dawning, and Charlie's knocking on the boat Rizzo's sleeping in. He's like, hey, how many people did you tell about the BB? He wants to know. And so Rizzo,
You're.
the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, BEBI, I call it the BB.
I know. I was trying to
The
figure
BB.
out what you were saying.
And so Rizzo sleepily says, well, I told you and I told Dee, and it is the crack of dawn.
And Charlie told Jonathan, right?
Well, that's what he said. Said it seemed like he knew, so I told him. And then we get a confessional with Rizzo saying, do I have stupid tattooed on my forehead? And he launches Operation Bad Blood, which I had to look that up. That is a Taylor Swift song. So he's out swifting Charlie from the drop. Charlie chose to wake him up, and now it's on. Disrupted his sleep.
Why is he sleeping off in a boat?
I don't know. I
Why
guess
in a boat? That doesn't sound comfortable.
it must
So
have
he was
worked.
curled up there.
Yeah.
And why isolate yourself off by yourself?
Well, that may
Maybe
just be how
he snores or something, and they
Yeah.
said, yeah, you sleep out there.
Yep, we don't really have answers to your questions.
I know.
We see Rizzo talking to Dee, and they are targeting Charlie. And Dee tells us Charlie is dumb and sneaky. And Rizzo really wants to get the lock in with Dee and tells her he has a BB idol. And that he tells us he loves strong, independent women. So he's pretty happy with this alliance he's building.
Well, that's true, since he aligned with Savannah.
And pivoted, and Sophie B. Pivots over to Cirie to get the lock there and tells her about their 4-person alliance. And Cirie is ecstatic. I bet you were pretty happy. You've been worried about Cirie and this new Cila
I'm
tribe.
happy, you betcha. Except I don't trust any of that. But
Well, Cirie seemed to be trusting. She is thrilled. She felt like she was on the bottom, and now she's bingo, bango, boingo. She's in a 4-person alliance. Mm-hmm. She had zero hope, but Rizzo
Except
turned it all
she hadn't
around.
talked to the other people. She didn't talk to Kamilla. I mean, she talked to Rizzo. She talked to Dee briefly.
Evidently, nobody did.
Yeah. Well, Rizzo did eventually. So.
Well, yeah, later.
And Dee, but
Community challenge here on day 11. It's going to start on the water. It's going to end on the land.
so a 2-day episode, basically.
Yeah, 2-day cycle.
Okay. And that's when Jeff tells them only the first tribe to win has immunity. The other 2 are going to tribal kill.
Yeah, this is quite the challenge. So you're going to start with 2 from each tribe out in the water. They're going to dive in, jump in, get out, climb over an obstacle, jump back in, swim over to another obstacle, climb up where there are 4 bags of coconuts tied up. And each of the 2 people have to get 2 bags of coconuts, swim those in, dig under a log, move the coconuts under that.
That was probably the harder part because they'll float in the water. So
Yeah.
that wasn't hard, but then
Bringing
lifting them out of the
wet sack of
the
coconuts.
wet sack of that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And then be wet and have to dig through all that sand and push the wet bags through there.
Right. It's got to be big
That
enough to get the
wasn't
big bags
easy,
of
I'm sure.
coconuts and someone as big as Jonathan through. And then
Yeah, he barely made it before
they
he
switch off.
collapsed.
Another person comes in from the tribe and empties the coconuts out and collects keys. And then they hand those
Cirie.
keys off to another person, which unlocks a grapple hook. And they have to hook a bag, which in turn contains bags filled with
A
sand.
bag of bags.
Yes. And then they got to throw those sandbags up and
The
land them
smaller
on
bags.
4 different platforms. 4
5.
different, was it 5?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 different ones on each at a different height.
Which we've seen before, and it's not as easy as it looks.
Okay. And that's when Probst tells them, yeah, 2 of you are going to go to tribal council. There's only 1 tribe going to be immune tonight. And for the sit-outs from Kalo, we get Chrissy and Colby. And Colby tells us he's sitting out because he's got a hurt foot.
I didn't like to hear that.
Nope. And then Kamilla and Devin sits out for Cila. And starting out in the water for Cila, there's Jonathan and Charlie. And then for Kalo, there's Joe and Genevieve. And for Vatu, it's going to be Ozzy and Stephenie. And Jonathan jumps out into a lead, but Ozzy quickly catches up with him. He was stride for stride there with him through their parts.
Well, they are both fish in the water, so
Joe, on the other hand, for Kalo, was dragging. He was having a hard time. He was completely gassed by the time he got up to dig under that log.
he was.
He was out of breath, huffing and puffing. We see Cirie empty the bags out for Cila to get those keys. Christian does that for Vatu, and eventually Aubry does that, but they really need someone to help catch up.
And Emily got their box open. Rizzo gets the grappling hook and gets their bags. And Coach is the one who gets his team's bags.
For Kalo,
and
yeah, he
then
did really
Angelina.
good. First toss. Yep, Angelina's trying. She gets multiple tries before Coach gets there. Coach passes her, and then she eventually gets it.
And then Tiffany, John, and Jonathan and Joe start throwing the bags.
Well, Tiffany and Joe can't throw at the same time. But yeah, Tiffany starts for Kalo, and then she gets one and hands off to Joe.
Yep, and Ozzy's throwing.
For Vatu, yep.
Yep.
And it's really close, but then Joe makes a comeback.
Joe lands
After
it.
being gassed, he recovered and ends up winning it for
Landing
Kalo.
the final bag.
Devins tells us there's a storm a-coming. The culling is beginning.
And both tribes lost their flint. So,
Well, Vatu hasn't had one. But yeah, Jeff was already holding Vatu's.
oh yeah. I thought they got it once.
No, they won a reward. That's probably what you're thinking about.
Well, I guess they're good at keeping their fire going.
They definitely didn't have it after the last time because they went and voted out Mike.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep, I knew that, but I was thinking anyway. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now we know who's going to go, and there's a lot of time left. So we figured there was going to be quite a bit of discussion.
starting over on Cila,
Rizo,
and they're all sort of celebrating. Finally, a double elimination. They've been anticipating it, and finally, it's
They
here.
were right.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying about Rizo?
Operation Bad Blood.
Yep, he is fine going to tribal council and getting rid of Charlie. He's got D on his side. He's got Cirie on his side, and he needs to get Kamilla.
Now he's telling Kamilla about the idol,
Yep.
but she's not so easy. She's very skeptical.
Well, it's because of what he said. He led with Kyle said to get with her, and then he added a whole bunch of other stuff that Kyle supposedly
Kyle thought
told
of him as a younger brother.
Yeah,
And
that's what she
That's
seemed
what
to
didn't necessarily ring true
Right.
for her. But she's willing to accept it
pretend for now. Yeah.
Yes.
Devins puts on a gun show. Mighty impressive, Devins.
And then Charlie decides to tell Kamilla about the
He
idol.
wants to be first to tell her, he says.
Yeah, well, that ship has sailed. But to her credit, she handled it very well. And
Didn't give anything
pretended
away,
that
but she
he
did tell
was
us
the-
Charlie's too slow.
Yeah.
And she recognizes this situation. They both want each other out. She's going to end up in that position of the swing vote.
Well, and I like it. She's very realistic, and she's like, hey, cool. I'm the swing vote. I can go either way. I'm the one that will decide.
Yep.
I'm in power. Mm-hmm. Not anybody.
Okay, back over to Vatu.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I had just said that.
Well, I
and
knew, yeah. I could tell by the way you were laughing.
I wasn't going to say anything else.
Yeah, but you did because I knew. I knew that evil laugh.
That wasn't an evil laugh. Okay, back over to Vatu. Ozzy's trying to pump everybody's spirits up a little. He said, we did great, but of course we didn't win. And Christian's lamenting that he and Ozzy and Emily have gotten to go to all the tribal councils. But he's got a target. He's looking to vote out Angelina.
But Ozzy wants Christian out. Still doesn't trust him.
Well, we see him talking to Stephenie and Emily and Christian and saying that he was going to go after, he's fine with targeting Angelina finally. But then when Angelina, Emily, and Christian are talking, they're saying they're going to vote Stephenie out, but Angelina says she knows she's got to be careful with Christian.
What did Christian call Ozzy? Prissy pants?
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Polly
Prissy
Prissy
pants.
What?
Yeah, Ozzy needs some assurance, and he wants Christian shot in the dark.
Well,
And he wants him to prove his trust. So
because what he's really advertising is, I still don't trust you.
right,
And you need to prove yourself to me.
right. Christian recognizes that there is a request for a ritual of subservience. That's what Ozzy's after, and that you can tell that annoys Christian, but he's trying to placate him so that he can get the vote that they need. And Ozzy's feeding them scallops, I guess.
Yum.
So he's definitely providing.
You can feed me scallops anytime.
Yep. And
I love
Ozzy
'em.
tells us that he really respects Emily and he wants to play with her going forward. So he shares his plan to get rid of Christian.
And I'm thinking, why?
Christian, then Angelina. Well, we know he's not the best at this game. When you got two people who honestly are not really good at Survivor, at this part of Survivor
He's
at least.
better.
He is doing better. Yes. He just
But he really
picked the
needs
wrong
Cirie
person.
there to tell him.
Yeah. To help
to
him navigate.
guide him.
Yeah.
To guide him, yeah. And, I mean, Stephenie's doing pretty good. She's in there with him, but I think they could do okay, too. But Cirie will tell him straight up.
Angelina gets that Ozzy would prefer Christian, and she sees two duos with herself in the middle. She's the swing vote over here.
Oh, yeah. She thinks
Potentially.
she's in the same spot as Kamilla.
Mm-hmm. We see Emily go to Christian and say, hey, Ozzy wants you out. And that upset Christian a bit. Ozzy's such a baby. I lie, and that makes him irate. I have to deal with his ego now. Okay, I guess I'll have to give him a shot in the dark.
I didn't think he was going to do that.
I didn't either. I did not. So I was surprised when he decided to do that to build trust. He's going to do a trust fall with Ozzy.
I think he really, really wanted Angelina gone. We can worry about Ozzy later.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think he wanted to get both Mike and Angelina out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he knew he couldn't trust them long term.
Yeah, based on what they proved to the last time.
Yes, exactly. So, but we'll see.
Ozzy says he does trust him more after getting that shot in the dark. But he's also ready to go forward with voting him out.
Yeah, but I had a feeling he would cave.
Okay, back over to Cila. We see Cirie and Rizo talking, and Rizo tells her the Kamilla talk went well, and Cirie tells us that Rizo has her, but there's so much sharing, it makes her feel uncomfortable. I didn't see this next part coming when she said that. I thought she was going to say, this doesn't feel right. I don't think I can work with Rizo, but no. She says, hey, by the way, I've got an extra vote. Thanks for sharing all your secrets. Here's mine.
Yeah.
And Rizo...
That's not Cirie. That's very un-Cirie-like.
Well, this, after days of feeling like she was on the bottom, to have the sky open up.
That she didn't really have a prayer.
Rizo tells us this is his survivor dream, getting to ally with Cirie, making a plan to go to the end together, to go long.
You betcha. So cool. Whatever. Saving my girl.
We got a sequence where Rizo was telling them all about his Survivor 49 experience and how Probst called him Riz God when he snuffed his torch and how well he played and all the things he was able to do.
Well, like he said during tribal council, he did that so that there wouldn't be a mystery about playing with him. But the difference is, Rizzo, they don't know if you're lying or not.
Right.
You can tell them anything, and
why
they
would any
still
of
don't
what
know.
he shared be a good thing to hear from him? How well he has done. And
Well,
how eager Probst was to invite him back.
I think the big thing is they were like, yeah, Savannah told us about you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Devins was good
Yes.
putting that out there.
So I thought, oh,
He checked him a little.
That might, yes, exactly. And so, because then he doesn't know what Savannah told him.
Kamilla tells us she knows what's up. You got Jonathan, Charlie, and Devins on one side, and then you got Cirie, Rizzo, and Dee on the other, and she is slap dab in the middle. She's a swing vote. She's going to decide, is it Charlie or Rizzo?
Okay, tribal council number 1.
Yep, and there was no order. We kept thinking they would have done something to choose the order for who went, but
Nope.
Vatu heads in first, and Stephenie catches
No, Cila went in first.
or Cila. Yeah, I wrote that down wrong. Thank you.
Jeff's impersonations. Actually, he was pretty good. Much better than the rap.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, Probst.
Yeah, so Stephenie caught a question about what the vibe was, and she just talked about smaller numbers, and then Ozzy talked about how he and Christian and Emily had been to all these, and that's when Probst went off on his Jonathan impression, and then he did a Colby impression, and then he finished it with a Christian impression.
Which really cracked them up because they were like, oh, that is so him. Mm-hmm. Well, you had talked about that, he doesn't finish his sentences. It's, when you've heard him do reviews and stuff.
I was talking about Mike White that was really hard to listen to.
Was that? Oh, it
in
was
the
Mike.
interviews.
Yeah, it was Mike,
Yeah.
not Christian.
Christian does something like that too
Similar,
sometimes.
though, yeah.
If I may.
Well,
if
he's
I may.
hard to follow.
Yeah, he doesn't always get all his thoughts out because his mind's racing ahead.
I do that. I can't say anything about it. So, okay. Ozzy tells that he was out of the vote last time and that he had a temper tantrum.
Yep, but those can be golden opportunities for growth, he tells us.
And,
I don't believe you, Ozzy.
well, Christian said he is a thoughtful person. He thinks about it sometimes too much, maybe.
Angelina was impressed with the angry fire he built after the previous tribal council.
And Stephenie tells us her gut kicks in eventually, and then she knows who she's
Honing her
gonna
trust skills.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I kind of felt like Angelina thought she might be going
Well, she knew it was a
by the
possibility.
time they got there. No, but I think she kind of knew. I felt like she did. But she was telling me how voting bonds us together. And it's like,
Well, and you won't
it's
know.
not gonna work.
She's right. You won't know how it is until you get back and the voting's over and you get to sit with your decision.
She was still selling it, I am a ride or die person, and I've proved that in my previous game. Think about it before you vote. But Jeff tells them time to vote, and off they go.
Yep. And then cut to a commercial to build some suspense. He asks for idols or advantages, and there are none
Nope.
played. And we see the votes come in for Angelina and Stephenie, and then the rest of them are for Angelina. She's out. She seemed very humble. She said nothing but love. Everybody come in for a hug.
And she gave them her coat,
Her jacket.
which she had been planning.
Yes, before the season
because
began.
So much has been said about her, Natalie.
Yep. In her confessional afterwards, she said that she guessed Christian was just out for some Goliath blood. It was his revenge tour.
Well, okay.
But that's interesting, too, because she's probably thinking, oh, I'm going to go spend some time with Mike.
And Mike left.
Yeah. I don't think she got the celebrity boost because he wanted to be alone so he could think about
and he probably
White Lotus.
didn't write you in.
Yeah. Well,
Because he
who
wrote
knows?
season 4. But
Yeah. He hasn't
we'll
announced.
find out.
Yeah, he hasn't announced that yet. But yeah.
Okay. Well, it did cross my mind that could be part of why Ozzy was so mad, is that he was planning on getting Mike to give him
Wanted that with all
Yeah.
he's got going on with his new restaurant in Mexico.
I know, but I don't think he would turn it down.
Right.
He could have somebody. He's having somebody cover right now. They could cover while he went to
Yep.
film whatever.
Cila's turn at Tribal Council. You got the old Kalo 4 plus Rizo getting their first look and grabbing fire. Rizo tells us he catches the first question. He's played 36 of the last 45 days have been spent playing Survivor. So he's just really speechless and elated, although he did a lot of talking.
He's there with his, having fun with his idols and legends. And which I'm sure that would be awesome. But, and he gets to live it, so good for you.
Charlie catches the next question and he says, yes, he can relate to those feelings, but the stakes are higher with the returnee season and it's a real pressure cooker.
And John says there are a lot of legends here. But we don't know who will do what.
I liked what he said. Yeah, you don't know who's who until pen meets parchment.
Yep, because until you
That
go
was
to tribal
eloquent,
council,
Jonathan. Yeah.
you really don't know where those lines
true.
are drawn. But they do now.
Charlie gets a question about being if he's excited to be there again, and he says, well, this is where you prove your game for sure. So, yeah, you're excited, and then no, you're not, because this is intense.
Because there's a lot of veteran liars here, and it's very scary.
Yep. Devins pays some compliments to Rizo. Yes, he acknowledges he's an unknown, but tells us that Rizo is wise beyond his years. And Rizo knows that people who play back-to-back typically do well, but he's out to become a legend in the game.
And Rick highlighted that again. Well, all we knew was Rizgod. And they didn't think so much of that.
Yep, and Kamilla chopped him down a notch too, saying, yeah, you're the opportunity to prove yourself is great, but you're still an unknown. And Devin says, you don't know. He catches that question from Probst. You really don't know how you're going to be received by others. So it's one thing to play and have that experience, but until you see how others were perceiving you, there's still a big piece missing from your experience. That's what Probst wanted Devins to fill in for Rizo.
And he pointed out that you're playing with house money. Do you think it was smart for Rizo to say, I got more to play with? Wouldn't you just kind of...
Well, it's all about being a legend. No. If your goal is to be a legend, you got to talk like a legend.
Yeah, but he isn't one yet. And he's surrounded by people that are. So
Probst pitches another question back over to Charlie. Do you see yourself in Rizo? And Charlie says, yes, but there's a catch to this in that we're all the hero of our own stories.
Yep.
It's when you get the other people's stories that you really get the color of things. And
that
it
may
can be
be
very
very
different.
Yep.
Yeah. Time to vote. So when he goes up to vote, we hear him say, it's no love story here. This is all bad blood. So he's totally... That's what Charlie got to see as this all built and tonight, that Rizo outswifted him all through this, at least with the edit that Charlie got.
Yep, I'm going to get you out Taylor Swift style.
Dee tells us her heart is racing as she goes to vote, and Charlie said, hey, you betrayed your number one, so you got to go.
Yeah, he's like, he'd rather know nothing about him than what he did disclose.
No advantages or idols are played. Both Rizo and Cirie held theirs. And the votes come in, and we get a tie. 3 for Charlie, 3 for Rizo. The tiebreaker from Kamilla comes in. Charlie.
No, 3 for Rizo, then 4 for Charlie.
And then Charlie is out. Jonathan and Devins look completely confused.
Yes, they did. They looked shocked.
Yeah.
Like, what?
All right, what did you think of our big double episode?
Who said... Oh, it was Charlie. What did he mean? Was that something about Taylor, teardrops on my guitar?
Must have been. Yeah, I don't know all those Swiftie references, but if he's saying it, you got an excellent chance that's what's going on.
That didn't register, but I kind of assumed it had something to do with that. Okay, what'd you think about the episode as a whole?
I just asked you that. Yeah, it was exciting.
Was I listening to you, or was I looking at my notes?
Yeah. I thought that Christian was going to get popped this time. So I had Charlie going, and I had Christian going. And it did seem like it came close. I think Ozzy came really close to that. I'm not sure he wouldn't have had a better partner with Angelina, given how things are, because she needs someone.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know where else would she go.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Ozzy and Stephenie definitely could have scooped her up, and then he would have been rid of that Christian problem, because this isn't going away.
Well, we'll see where that goes. But I had Angelina and Charlie going. On Saturday, I had really kind of locked in on Angelina. I thought, yeah, no, I'm just going to stick with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept waffling between Rizo and Charlie. And I just finally thought, no, I thought it was going to be Charlie. I wanted him to get Rizo, but I just kind of had a feeling he wasn't going out yet. So anyway.
So to answer your question, I'm happy, obviously, that Christian is still in the game and that he got rid of
USB?
the other Goliath. So that's good. He's got that off. And so that's not going to be a concern. That's going to free him up some. He's still not in a good place. Emily held fast for him.
She did, for once.
Yeah. So, but he's not going to be able to count on Stephenie. Stephenie made that clear. She's concerned about Christian. Ozzy's concerned about Christian. So I'm coming out of the episode still thinking, man, Christian's not in a good place. He doesn't have the numbers that he really needs going forward. And I was really hoping, even though I had Charlie going, I was hoping that Charlie was going to get one over on Rizo. So I'm not the Rizo fan. And so to have him in here and then to have him lock in with Cirie, that says he does, like they were talking about, he's got a chance now of going deep with that connection. You got to be thrilled because Cirie just got a huge lifeline, and she's in the controlling alliance again. She's got someone all the way to the end, potentially, with Rizo.
But here's the thing they're not telling us a thing about. Is she still connected with Rick? I thought they were tight. But she didn't tell him, obviously. He was shocked.
Right.
So how's that going to affect? And, she doesn't, I don't know. Can she really trust Rizo?
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't either. So I don't know. It's good for now.
But we know more than she did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good for this vote. That's all you got to do is keep getting
She's in
through
with
one
D.
vote.
D could go deep.
She could. I didn't really want her to. I feel like she's a little bit controlling. I thought that was
Cirie,
going to
D, Kamilla, and Rizo. There's 4 right there.
Well, Jonathan's not happy.
Right.
And he's not going to be happy. So I'm not sure about what he might not bail completely because they abandoned him.
Sad to see Charlie go. Well played.
Well, yeah.
Controlling alliance. And Rizo really won that battle.
But somehow, Dee acted like they were just trying to rule everything, and she didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or they weren't basically just doing whatever it was she wanted. They had their own ideas. That seemed to be the more significant factor for her.
True.
They had their own plans. They weren't just waiting for her to make one.
Well, then she must have just loved that Rizo was raring to go.
Mm-hmm.
You betcha. Love working with women.
Strong, independent women.
Yep.
Good for you, Rizo.
So for right now, but what's going to happen with the merge? Are any of the alliances going to pull back together?
Ready to move on to next time on Survivor?
You betcha.
All right, drop your buffs. We hear it's merge day, Tiffany announces. I was caught off guard. I did not see that coming.
No.
I thought, we're going to get another double elimination, maybe a triple elimination in this next episode. Next time you're on comes out and they're merging.
No, they'll break into 2 tribes.
They're merging at 17. We see Cila and Kalo in boats heading, I guess, to Vatu Beach, which isn't the best beach.
Well, they have never merged at 17, have they?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Not off the top of my head.
See it.
And it looks like you said it was yellow, the merge buff?
I believe so, yeah.
Because they've all got new buffs on, a color we haven't seen before, and then they're all scrambling out of camp. Looks like they're probably racing out to find something to give them an advantage.
Yeah, they look like
for
they
the
were
challenge.
running around searching for something.
We see Stephenie talking to somebody, not sure who, but you might think it was
In
Colby.
the hammock.
Yeah, someone's laying in the hammock, and she says to them, they'll lie straight to your face.
I thought it was Colby, too, because I do think they'll keep their alliance. And I think Ozzy would enjoy working with Colby.
And these are all quick cuts here. And the next time on, we see it cuts to Aubry talking to Devins and Christian and saying, I'm not bleeping around. So they're probably have told her, hey, we sent that to you, sent her the idol. And so they're trying to build their numbers and getting an alliance going there. And we got Tiffany giving gun fingers and pointing in both directions. Prop, prop. She's ready to...
I point guns like this.
Yeah.
Double barrel.
She's ready to take somebody out.
Yep. And Jeff tells us tonight will forever change the game.
And you can see they're all standing in front of that torture challenge, the tiny footholds.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what it's called, the endurance challenge
It's called pain.
that hurts your feet so bad.
Well, and it can
they're at
damage
different
the
levels.
nerves in your feet.
Yeah, there's definitely talked to people who've said they got nerve damage doing that.
You bet.
Yeah.
So, And do you think that there's just going to be one winner? Are they going to divide them up to
There'll be at least two.
women?
Yeah, I liked your
men?
idea that they'll probably do a women and men.
Well, that's what I was thinking. They
Individual
might do
immunity.
Double, but they're not telling us.
Man, these are
so
going to be some exciting big votes.
It's exciting or nerve-wracking.
Well, that too. But to have that big of a crowd at tribal council, or maybe like you're saying, they'll break it up.
Really? Yeah.
Because it didn't look like there were tribe or team colors behind them. It looked like in that challenge, the stands there were all the same color, right?
The what?
In the background where they're standing in front of the challenge.
Yeah, they all looked blue, I thought. As much as I remember.
So it's not like you're going to divide up into teams, which that starts happening for the reward challenges after the merge.
Yep, so there's 17. That would take it down to 15 if they did have two people go, but we don't know. And if we don't get some information, then we won't set up for two in the fantasy league. So
Yeah, we only do that
unless
when we know for sure.
Yeah. So, but wow, that's looking like it is a real merge, which
Oh yeah, with the
shock
buffs.
me.
Yeah. Definitely surprised
I
to
was
see
like,
that.
what?
I'm still trying to think what's gonna forever change the game. You say that like in the case where you've adopted some new game mechanic, like fire making at Final Four was a big change to the game. What are they gonna do here that's a change to the game? I'm not sure what that could be.
You suggested 3 people go to tribal. I'm like, no.
Well, they need to get rid of more people, so
That's
I
not
could see
gonna
that happen. I could see it
I
happen.
nixed it. No.
You could split them up into 3 small teams. They love doing that for challenges. Maybe not this time.
Not for immunity. So I definitely don't want to do that. I don't want to see that many people leave at once. But wow, yeah, what could it be? Who can think of something? It's like changing the game.
It's just going to somehow change how the game flows. It's going to change what it means to be merged, how the game plays out from here.
What could they be running and searching for?
An advantage in this challenge because the stakes are so high, because it's going to change how the game gets played. Yeah, I don't know. That's something that we can
Dang it. We
think
have
some
to
more about.
Wait another whole week.
Well, and
To find it.
maybe some folks, maybe we'll have some ideas by the time the listener feedback. But before we get to that point, how about a JSFL update from the big double elimination?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Big night. There are 4 people still tied in first with 26 points.
Oh, wow.
4 people who lost their USB for Angelina and 34 for Charlie.
Yeah, big hit there.
20 people lost a safe point for Angelina and 38 for Charlie. And 153 people earned a vote-off point for Angelina.
You included.
Yep. And 77 for Charlie.
Yep. Got that one.
So, all right. I didn't even look at my score. The side challengers. In first place still with 24 points is Rebecca. 23, Stacy. 22, Anderson and Jeremiah. 20, Johnny. 19, Parker. 18, Lisa Ray. 17, Justin. And 16, Drew.
Quite the spread there.
Yeah, but look, Drew's got somebody getting closer to the basement with him, so
Yes, buddy Justin.
imagine he's feeling less alone down there. You got to get a vote off, Drew.
Yeah, this is going to be a doozy. This next one, if there's a big change to the game mechanic like that.
Yeah, he doesn't usually say stuff that puzzles us quite that much. Mm-hmm. Especially since this is supposed to be in the hands of the fan. Was there one of the questions?
That's a surface thing, though. No, there's nothing like that.
That would change the game.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are about all this. You can tell it's got us stumped. If you'd like to join us in the next listener feedback feedback show, you I ran it all together. You can call and leave a voicemail at 206-350-1547. Toll free 844-643-8737. You can record your own or send it to us in an email. We'll read it into the show on your behalf. That email's Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com. Feedback's due noon Eastern time on Saturday, and we ask that you keep it in that 3-minute range. What are your thoughts on these vote outs? What did you think about losing Charlie and Angelina? And how do you think the merge at 17 is going to work? What's coming that's going to change the course of the game?
How are they even going to sleep? It looked like that from where they showed the two boats that were going somewhere. It looked like maybe they ended up at Vatu camp.
Right.
And
because you can clearly see that Kalo is in one boat, and we were thinking the other boat that was
Cila.
further away was
It
Cila.
was Cila. It was the orange color.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, that's not as well kept a camp, is it? Vatu?
I don't know. Ozzy's been delivering food, but according to Angelina, it was played out. So remember, she was willing to trade their fishing gear away.
Well, I was kind of surprised about that, but I mean, there
Or
could
whatever
be
it was
another
that they got, their
boat
tarp.
that we weren't shown, but and they go into somewhere new and have to rebuild. But they definitely don't have enough shelter built for 17 people.
Right. Yeah. Definitely have some work to do on the camp.
Or anything near that.
Looking to hear how your assessment of the castaways changed after this episode. Who do you think's playing the best? Who's still in jeopardy of being voted out next? And who impressed you the most?
Didn't you already say that?
No, I didn't get to that part before you took us somewhere else.
Okay.
Almost.
Well, we're kind of...
You were reading ahead.
So maybe I wasn't reading anything. I can't even see that.
Okay.
You're reading it. I can't see it. Even when I put my glasses on, I still can't read it very well.
Okay.
A little bit.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.